Hello again. In this video, we will continue with Microsoft Excel. First step, I will save my file from File, Save As on Desktop. I will save Sample 1. In this sample, I will take an example of a grading system. So I will rename my sheet. I double click here. I name it my sheet, for example, Grades. And I can change the tab color. Right click on the sheet name, tab color, and I choose the tab color. Let's start. For example, I need student name. I need exam 1, exam 2, exam 2, and final exam. Now I will add, I will take an example of 5 students. So student 1, and I will use the mouse at the corner and scroll down to take 5 students. Also, I will add the grades, for example, 60, 80, 90, 95, 70. For exam 2, I will take 88, for example, 96. For this student, for example, I will not put a grade. Here I will put 90, 100. As for final exam, also I will add random grades, 85, 90, 97, for example, and 88. Now I added my data. I will start formatting. For example, first step, I will add a border. Also from here, I will change the font. For example, I will use Times New Roman. I will make it bold. I will increase a little bit the size. I can make italic. I can add underline or double underline, or to remove a double underline. I can add fill color. I can add a color to my titles. Also, I can resize all columns. For example, I will select these 4 columns from here. I will resize the columns. Also, I can resize to resize the row the same. I can choose these rows all with title and increase the size, the height of one row, and it will be increased to all rows. So now let's say that I forget, for example, I need to add the student number. To add the student number, I will go to the header, not inside as any cell, at the header, and right click and insert. The insert of column will always add the column to the left. So for example, if I need to add a column between C and D, I will go to the header of D and right click and click on insert. A column will be added between C and D. To remove this column, again in the header, right click and I click on delete column. If I need to delete the column added before the student name, also I will click on A, right click, delete column. To add column, I will add right click to the A because I need to add the column before A, and click on insert. A column will be added. Here I can add a number. I add at least 2 numbers, and then I select these 2 numbers and I use the autofill option. Here I will name it student number. Now if I need to copy the formatting from name to student number, and from student 1, student 3, student 5 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I select this column, I click here on Format Painter, and I choose student number. Now again, I will select all columns and resize. I will make all columns with the same width. Now I need, for example, these columns to be aligned to the left. From here, I choose align to the left. Let's say the grades must be aligned in middle and center, I will align middle and center. I will align the title as middle. Name, I will make name and student number middle and left. exam 1, exam 2, final exam, middle, and center. And for this column, I will also make it middle and left. Now I added a column. If I need to add a row also, I right click at any row and I can click insert. The row will be also added before the row. So for example, if I need to delete the row, right click, delete. If I need to add a row between 3 and 4, I go to row number 4 and right click, insert. A row will be added. If I need to delete again, right click and delete. The row will be removed completely. Now, let's say I need to add a row to set the percentage of exam 1, exam 2, and final exam. I will go to row number 1, right click, insert. Let's say I will choose these cells. First step I need to do is to set that these cells are percentage. So I will select these cells, and from here I will choose percentage. Let's say I have for exam 1 30%. You will notice that the percentage automatically added, also 30%, and for final exam I will add 40%. Also I can add border, I can align center and middle. Also I can increase the row height, I can set these as bold. Now I set the percentage. Now, if I need, for example, to calculate the average, to calculate the final grade. So from here, I will add class average. You will notice that it takes the same style directly. I will increase the size. Now, the class average is for each student exam 1, the grade of exam 1 times percentage of exam 1 plus grade on exam 2 times percentage of exam 2 plus grade on final exam plus times percentage of final exam. So I equal grade on exam 1 times percentage of exam 1 plus grade on exam 2 times percentage of exam 2 plus grade on final exam times percentage of final exam. The grade will be calculated. Now, if I use the autofill, you will notice that the formula is not correct. Let's say because of what it's not correct. If I look to the formula in for student 1, it is C3, the grade of exam 1, times C1, the percentage, plus D3 times D1, plus E3 times E1. But for student number 2 is the grade of exam 1 times C2. So it take exam 1, which is wrong. It must take 30%, the percentage. The same for student number 3, it take the grade of exam 1 times C3 times 60, which is not the percentage. So I need to fix the percentage for all rows. To fix the percentage, I go to the formula. I need to use the absolute value. To use the absolute value in the percentage cell C1, I need to add the dollar sign between the letter and the number. So instead of C1, it must be C $1. Instead of D1, it must be D $1. And instead of E1, it must be E $1. Now, if I use the autofill, the grade will be calculated correct. So if I look to the student number 2, it is C4 times C $1. So it use C $1, which is the C1. D4 times, take D4 times D $1 and E4 times E $1. And for the student number 5 also, it takes C7, which is the grade of student number 5 in exam 1, times C $1, which is the percentage of exam 1. This is what we call as absolute value. Now, I need to add border for these values. From here, I have, you can see that I have one decimal place. I can use these two buttons to increase decimal place or to increase. I can add or decrease decimal places. Now let's take another example. Let's take a curve. I need to add a curve as 5%. I will add here curve. I will make it percentage. I will add a curve of 5%. I will make it bold, for example, middle and center. I will add border. Now I will add here the curve value. For curve value, the curve value is the class average times the curve. So equal class average times curve. To use absolute value, instead of K2, I need to add dollar sign between, so K dollar 2. Now, if I use the autofill, you will notice that all values are times K dollar 2. I add now the border, and I applied again the curved value. Now, let's calculate the final grade. The final grade. So the final grade must be class average plus curve, so equal class average plus curve. Now I use the autofill again, and it will be calculated correct. Also, I can from here increase the decimal places. I will add a border. Now, let's say I need to sort my data. I go to Data tab. I click here on Sort. I add, for example, I need to sort according to, first I need to sort according to what? Let's say, for example, according to the final grade. I can sort in ascending or descending order. To use, for example, to sort according to descending order, I use to from largest to smallest and click on OK. You can notice that the first student with the highest grade is the student in the row number 1, and the lowest final grade is in the last row. Again, if I need to sort again according to student number, I go to sort again. I go to sort again. I use that I need. Let's select this table. I will click to sort. Instead of final grade, I will choose student number and increase in ascending order from smallest to largest. Now the students are back from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Also, if I need to to view the students that have grades, for example, greater than 90, I need to use the filter. To use the filter, first step, I will choose the title. I click on filter icon. You can notice that now I have on the title as a drop down button. For example, if I need for final grade, the grade grade greater than 90, I can from here uncheck the grades below. Now you can notice that the grades that are not greater than 90 are hidden, are not appear again. To this, I can from here check all to reset all. If I need to remove the filtering, again I click again on the filter button and the filter will be removed. Again, another option, I can use the filter, for example, for final grade, where number filter greater than, I can use from here greater than 90 and click on OK. Now you can see that also the filter will be applied correctly. To remove the filter, I can again choose the title and click again on filter, and the filter will be removed. Now, let's say I need to hide a column. For example, I need to hide the curve grade. To hide the curve, I click here on the title, right click and hide. You notice that now the curve will not be appear. To unhide, I need to select the column before and after and right click and click on unhide. The same for row. If I need to hide the row number for student number 3, I right click on the row number of student number 3 and click on unhide. To unhide again, I will choose the row before and after and right click unhide. For example, if I need to hide the student 2 and the student number 3, I will select the two rows and right click hide. To show again these rows, I will choose the row before and after, right click and unhide. Now, if I need, for example, to highlight, if I need to highlight the students that have the grade, I need to have less than 60, 70. I need to use what we call conditional formatting. First step, I will choose these cells. From here, conditional formatting, I will need to use highlight cells rules. I can use to highlight the cells greater than a certain value, less than certain value, between two values, or equal to. Let's say I need to hide the cells less than 70. I will choose here highlight less than. I will here 70. From here I can choose. For example, I need to apply a light red fill and I click on OK. It will be highlighted. Let's now, between 70 and 90, I need to highlight in yellow. So again, I will select these values and from here, conditional formatting, highlight says between 70 and 90, I will choose yellow fill. And for the grades greater than 90, I will highlight in green. So again, conditional formatting, highlight, greater than 90, green fill. Now, for example, let's say I will add here a grade. Now this grade is 66. If I add here, for example, 90, it will be automatically be updated because it's now the final grade is greater than 90. So the grade will be filled and highlighted in green. I will undo. Now I will take another example. If I remove this grade, now it is 90, so it will be highlighted with green. If I remove this grade, it will be updated and will be highlighted in red because now it is below 70. Also, I will undo. In conditional formatting, to remove conditional formatting, I can select again these cells, and from here I can clear rules from entire sheet or from selected cells. Again, I can from here, conditional formatting, highlight cells. Also, I can use top-bottom rules. For example, I will choose top. For example, I need to highlight the top one, the first grade, with green. Also, I can use custom formatting and use any format I need. For example, I can apply strike through superscript. I apply fill color, or I can use a predefined from here. For example, with green, I will highlight the top one in green and the bottom one from here. I will from here top bottom item. Instead of 10, I will add the one because I need to highlight the bottom one with red, and the conditional formatting will be applied. Also, I can apply a data bar. For example, I will take for final exam, I will apply a data bar on final exam. So the highest grades will be completed filled, and the other will be completed as a percentage from the highest grade. Also, I can use a color scale. Color scale. For example, let's remove this conditional formatting, clear rules from selected cells. Also, I can apply a color scale and icon set. The icon set will be calculated according to the average. If the grade is above the average, equals the average, all or below the average. But the most important condition formatting is to be used is the highlight cell rules. Now I will make the conditional formatting only on final grade to highlight the top and bottom values. Now let's say I need to calculate the total average. First, I will merge these cells. From here, I will merge cells. I will add, for example, total curve. I will add border for these two cells. From here, I will make it bold. I will choose a fill color. From here, I will choose a fill color. I will make both as bold. I will increase a little bit the height also. I will make the alignment as middle. Now to calculate the total curve, I need to calculate all this curve. So equal, I will choose this cell plus this cell plus this cell plus and enter. I will calculate the total curve. But if I have now a long list, not only 5 students, for example, if I have 60 students, this formula will be hard to do for all students. The best way to do it is to use the auto sum function. To use the auto sum function, I will click here. I will go to here from auto sum. I will choose the sum. Now I select the cells from G2 to G, from G3 to G7. From here, I choose from G3 to G7 and I click on enter. Now the formula will be applied. For conditional formatting, let's remove the conditional formatting from here, from entire sheet. I will add it later on the selected cells only. So now you can notice that here the two numbers are different, but just because of decimal increases. For example, if I increase the decimal to 3 places, the two values will be the same. I will add also a border. So I can use arithmetic function to calculate the total, or the best way to, if I have a long list, is to use the sum function, which equals sum of from which cell to which cell. I put 2 points between the two cells from G3 to G7, and that will be calculated. Now, for example, I will take, I will do a format painter and I will be applied here. For example, I will calculate the highest grade. To calculate the highest grades, I need to use a function. I will need to put here the highest grade. I will use, let's make more the highest final grade. I need to precise which grade. I will use from here. I will use max function, and I will select the cells where I have final grades from H3 to H7, and click enter. It will give me the highest grade. Now, if I need, for example, I will do from here merge cells. Also, I will add a border or make it bold. Let's say here I need to lowest, for example, lowest. I need the lowest grade in final exam. I will add a fill. I will change the fill color. For example, I will use this fill color. Here, if I need to the lowest grade in final exam, I go to the functions and I will use the min function. And from here, I need to choose the final exam. So from E3 to E7, and click on enter. It will give me the lowest grade in final exam, which is 85. Now, if I need, also I will take as a format painter from these two cells, will be applied to these two rows. Now here I will need to calculate the average. For example, I need to calculate the average of final grade, and here I need to calculate number of students. Let's start with the average of final grade. To use the average, to calculate the average from function, I need to use the average function. I select the cells of final grades from H3 to H7 and click on enter. The average will be calculated. To calculate number of students, I will use the count. I will use the count function, and I will select from, for example, from A3 to A7, 5. Now let's try to use the count function, but on B cells. So if I use the count function on from B2 to B7, it will give me a wrong number, which is 0. Because count numbers only count numbers and do not count cells that contain alphanumeric values. To calculate a alphanumeric values, I need to use a function called count A. So equal count A refer to alphanumeric. If I use count A on the cells in B from B3 to B7, it will give me the correct answer. So I will put beside each cell the formula I used. For example, here I used sum from G3 to G7. From here, I use the function max from H3 to H7. Here, I use the function mean from E3 to E7. In this cell, I use the function average from H3 to H7. And here, I use the function count from A3 to A7. Also here I use the function count from B3 to B7. And here I use the function count A from B3 to B7. I put beside the cells the formula I used. I will make these cells as bold and italic. I will increase a little bit the size. Now again, I will back to the count. You can notice that when I used count on the cells on A, it will give me 5, which is correct. But when I use count function on cells B, it gives me 0, which is wrong, because count only counts cells that contains numbers only. To count cells that contain alphanumeric values, I need to use count A. Finally, let's say I need to calculate, I will take these cells from Map Painter, I will do the merging. I need to calculate number of missing grades. To calculate number of missing grades, I need to use function called count blank. For example, here I need for all exams, for exam 1, exam 2, and final exam. So I need to select all these cells from C3 to E7, and I click on enter, and I will decrease the decimal. I have only one missed grade, so I use count blank to fill, to count how many empty cells or how many missing cells. I used here to calculate how many missing grades I have, so I used count blank to calculate how many empty cells. So I use sum to calculate the total, max to get the highest value, min to get the lowest value, average to calculate the average. I use count to count cells contains numbers, count A to count cells that contain alphanumeric numbers, count blank to count how many empty cells I have. Finally, for this sample, I will add here, for example, I will increase here, I will add an empty column. Now, if I here, I need to calculate if pass result, pass or failed. Let's say now if the student has a grade above 70 pass, below 70 fail, I will select here, for example, a add border. I need here to use if. I go from here, from more functions, I will search for if, or I can select it from here. So the logical test. Now I am in the row number 3. The final grade is H3. If H3 is greater than or equal 70, value of true must be pass, value of false fail, and I click on OK. Now if I use the autofill, you can notice that the grade that is below, let's align these cells as right. You can notice here that the student number C, because has a grade below 70, has a grade, has a result as fail. So I will repeat it. I will repeat. I will clear the value, I will use clear content. I go to here from more functions. I use the if, and if the logical test, I will start because I am now working on row number 3. I will use the final grade. So if the final grade, so H3 is greater than or equal 70, value is if true must be pass. I will need to display pass. Value if false, I will display fail. I click on OK. Now if I use the autofill, you will notice that the student number 3 has failed. Finally, I will apply again the conditional formatting. I will apply, for example, to highlight the cells less than 70 with red. So now I highlight the failed student in red. And finally, I will save my work, and thank you.